Glad to meet you. Glad to meet you. I think the only person that hasn't spoken is SN. I'm suspecting that SN would likely be one of my former students. I'm not sure, so I can't conclude yet. Mm. But it's nice meeting you all. I'm very very happy that most of us are planning September. So it means that you all can actually be very very aggressive in your studies together. Um, Yes, you can be very aggressive with your studies together. There are a few things that I always try to also do is first of all, do we all have an ISACA account? Have you visited ISACA? Do you have an account with them? Have you?
Yes.
Okay, you have an account with them, right?
Yes.
Okay. And you've gone through the ISACA CISA material, I mean CISA pages on the site. Just bear with me. I want to go to the site so that it just shows a few things. Because one of the things I try to do is, um, in as much as I want to encourage us to write the exam, I'm also big on full transparency, which is what ISACA also advocates for. So when you're coming in for the exam or coming for trainings like this, for a lot of people, they feel that once you pass the exam, that's it, but that's not the case. A lot of times, not a lot. What is expected really is that even when you pass the exam, for some of us, we would likely qualify to apply for the certificate almost immediately if you have 5 years experience. Now, that 5 years experience does not necessarily have to be on an IT audit role. So if you've worked in any position where you do a review, like I think, yeah, Tosin talked about access control. I think Ebenezer also. Then since Lamide works with Ebenezer, I think I can assume that you've also done some access control. I mean, at some level on in your organizations, you've done some security assessments here and there. But then with your BSc, if you have your BSc, which I'm assuming I might be wrong, that everyone on the call has, you are already exempted for 2 years. So practically, you're just looking out for 3 years experience required there. And for those 3 years, it should just be that you have done things that are relating to IT security and the likes, and you're qualified to apply for this certification. So one of the things that you would need to understand is, um, I haven't applied for the certification. You would need to maintain the certification also because it's done in every 3 year cycle basically. So every 3 years um, you're meant to renew your certifications. Now, one of the things I do at the beginning of the class is also introduce us to sites and other places where it will make life easy for you in achieving these things. All right. Yeah. Sorry, I'll share my screen with you shortly. Just let me know once you can see it. So we'll just go through it. We'll use my profile as just an example. Um, yeah, we'll use my profile as an example, and let's see what we get from there.
Just before you proceed, Mr. Maker, I wanted to ask,
Yeah, yeah.
this experience we are talking about, is it counted retrospectively or from the
No, retrospectively. Retrospectively, yeah. Oh. So the way it is, if you've been working for over 10 years, either in an IT role, accounting, whatever, and you can showcase that you've been doing one or two things from the various domain one, two, three, four, five. All right. Maybe you've been involved in some governance discussion and all of that, or you've been involved in access control at a certain level. Those years that you've done will count. Okay. But if you haven't, you'll still have like 5 years after you pass your exam to gain those experience. So you don't need to even have the experience now before you write the exam. So the idea is you have 5 years to apply for the certificate before you would have to write the exam again for to get certified. So if you don't have experience now, you're writing the exam is still okay. After 5 years or before the end of 5 years, I mean, if you're already on the job and then you transit into like Chile that wants to do a transition. That once you transition, the experience you gain even after the certificate, I mean, after passing the exam, can count for your experience when you're now applying for the certificate itself. I hope that clarifies it. Yes.
Yes, it does. Then, sorry, I want to ask another
No, no,
question.
no, feel
Yeah,
free, and that's
I
why we're
was
here.
going to also ask that how do you then demonstrate those experience to them? Do you need like a logbook? I don't know. I'm just trying to, because now I can just say, oh, I've worked in different places. Will I get a letter from my employer and things like that just to them, or how am I able to do that? I don't know. Maybe you understand what I'm trying to try.
Screen with the audio, and I'm using what do you call it now? I'm accessing the Zoom with the browser.
Okay.
Basically, it's transferred my mic to the to the other place. Whatever, it's good. So here is this. Um, when you're applying, you have there's an application PDF that needs to be filled. You fill in your ISACA number and your experiences. Then that experience needs to be verified by someone. Now, the person does not have to be a CISA or doesn't have to have an ISACA certification. It could be your supervisor or someone that has worked with you that can attest of your experience. Okay. And most times, once you do that and you send it in, that person will be reached out to by ISACA and ask them how well they know you and if what has been stated is correct or not. So it's an industry or an organization built on trust. Yeah, I mean, they trust that. I mean, if you go through the trainings, one of the primary or the foundational ethics is being a man or a woman of your word, being someone who, I mean, knows right from wrong. Because as an IT auditor, you're more like some form of IT judge, all right? Being able to say that, okay, what we have here, this is how it should be, or that's how it should be, and this is what the law says, or this is what our process states, and all of that. So, um, just to answer your question in plain text, once you fill the form, the person who you put in as a witness is going to be reached out to confirm if what has been written is correct or not. All right. So there is no, they don't need a log book. I understand what you meant by logbook, as in keeping a record of what you've done and all of that. But they don't need evidence of that. I mean, your job, the statements from your office and the places you've worked where you've applied these IT audit skills should suffice for them. I would see if it's possible to get the certificate document and just share it with us. That's one of the reasons why we're here, though. All right. Did I answer your question?
Yes, you did. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. But can you see my screen just to be sure?
Yes, your screen is on.
All right. So if you've not registered with ISACA, please do. It doesn't cost any money. You don't have to pay anything to be registered. So just register and you have access to the platform. You begin to get the information you need from their site. So this is my portal now. But what I'm trying to show us is how the portal looks. And apart from the exam that you're going to pay for and you write your exam, you should also know that when you are applying for your CISA certificate, the application fee I think is $50. Not sure if it has increased. It used to be $50. Uh, just give me a minute here. So the idea is let me get that from just to show you how it is, so that most of you are writing the exam this year. Uh, ta, ta, ta. Most of you are writing the exam this year, so you should know where to get that particular document. Um,
Please, can you share on the group platform
Share what now?
the link or here in the chat box? Thank you.
Okay, the ISACA link.
No, I already have the ISACA link in case for the form or any other
Okay.
share,
No
you can share
problem.
with me.
No problem. I can do that. I'm still looking for it because I've written my stuff quite a while. I've had to attest for some colleagues in my office at some point, but I would let's see. Exam candidate guide, no. So what I would say is let's I would put this on the chat group. Let's play around here like this take quiz. It wasn't something that you could get easily. All right, but I guess they're making some free quiz available here on the chat. Okay, it's just 10 questions. So, but they have the official quiz or ISACA question online that you can buy. I think it's like $300, but I don't know.
Sorry,
The
Mr.
okay,
Emeka,
this
sorry
is
to interject.
no, feel free to interject.
This membership fee that's I know it's paid annually, right?
Yeah,
And just to confirm, so if you miss an annual payment, you have to write the exam again.
no. Being a member is different from being a. You can be a CISA holder without being a member. What it means is that ISACA can attest that yes, you passed the exam, and by virtue of your experience that you shared, you are qualified to be a CISA. But being a member of ISACA, you can be a member of ISACA without having any of its certification. What it entails is that you can get discounts like this one now that this exam database is $400, but for members it will be $300. Some materials, let me just give me a minute, let me go through those resources. Because for me, I get some of my audit work papers from here on different topics, and you can't get that as a non-member. So let me say this artificial intelligence because that's the new certification that they have published. So they have the trainings and all of that. So if I were to, let me say, I want to do, let's say I want to do this training. All right. Let me say purchase. You'll find out that the cost to me as a member would be less compared to that of a non-member. So for me as a member, I'll be paying $180. A non-member will be paying like 225. So
But didn't
basically,
you pay for the like the sister fee holder? So I get the fact that ISACA you can be a member because I think I'm a member and I don't have any qualification. But in terms of when you
yeah,
get the sister qualification, right? I think there are
yeah.
those that are paid. I don't know if I'm correct. I like
Okay. So the way it is, did you pay for the membership when you registered?
yeah, I didn't pay, but I think my organization did because that's how I got an ID.
No. The idea is okay. So your organization paid, and that means your membership was paid. I mean, they registered you guys as members.
Yes.
So that means as you are now, you'll be able to. Okay. Are you on your laptop or your phone? Just to be sure. I want to
My
see
phone.
like your phone, and no problem. I think it should be able to gain access to the same things. Let me go to the store. There are, I'm looking for work papers, all right? So you can see all these work papers here. You get some of them
Okay.
free, all right? But like this one on advanced persistent threat, APT, how to manage risk, or to your business, all right?
Mm.
So let's say you're doing more like a work on that. As a member, you pay nothing, but a non-member will buy it for $60. So it's as good as they are giving you $60 back. So the value you get is from the resources you actually can access for free or at a discounted price as a member. Then
Okay, because I think maybe because what I'm asking is because I have a colleague that I think had this CISA had written years before.
did
And
they
I think
pass it for you?
yes, the past year got the, and I think this yearly dues or something that happened recently, the person didn't pay on time or miss the deadline. I'm not sure. And
Yeah, I think you are correct. Because
and the
it feels
feedback was
like
that he had to go and write the exam again.
No, wait now. That's why, for me, that's why we are here, this first session, to clear the air and help you to know all that it takes to have it, get the certificate and maintain it. A lot of people. I had a student of mine. He works with CBN. He passed the exam not at the first try, even maybe at the second try. And when you write an exam, it's difficult, or you pass it at once, or you pass it the second time. If you know how much you invested in it, then you should pay attention to the details. You know that for you, you have to pay the certification fee, all right, to get the certificate first. Then for 3 years, you're supposed to submit CPEs. It's not enough to pass the exam. Technology is changing every day. So what is expected is that for 3 years, you need to be able to showcase that you've been learning, you've been evolving, and you're getting better. You're all right. So you need to go for trainings. Organization sends us for trainings. Those trainings, you have certificates. And for a training that is 1 day, that is 8 CPE hours. All right. And you're expected to submit 120 CPE hours for a 3-year cycle, a minimum of 20 CPE hours every year, but on an average minimum for 40 CPEs every year for you to be able to maintain your certification. So if the person has just been coasting, I don't pass CISA, that's all, then it's a problem. Let's go to my page. Just show us a few things. So this is me. I think I've been a member since 2010. So that's like 15 years, and that's why I have this platinum level. But other than that, my first certification was CISA. So let's go to the here. Let's come here to this. This is where people have a lot of problems. All right, you have this cycle. Um, you're supposed to submit a minimum of 20 CP hours annually. Now, and you have to have a total of 120 CP hours in 3 years. Okay, so that means if you do a minimum of 20 CP hours, some years you would have to do more than 40 to catch up with it, to make up that 120. Now, part of what you pay for annually is your annual maintenance fee for your certificate. So every year you pay your dues. Just the way you pay your membership dues, you pay the certificate maintenance fee. All right. In this case, I think is $45 for members. But if you are not a member, so to now correlate this with the question you first asked, having a member of ISACA and having an ISACA certified certificate like CISA or CISM. So it's possible to get the certificate CISA or CISM without being a member of ISACA. The only difference is that you have to be paying $85 every year for maintaining your certificate. But if you're a member, your certificate maintenance fee is $45. and then you now pay your annual membership fees
So I
together.
think is this certificate maintenance fee I'm now talking about. If I don't pay it, is that where the issue comes
And if you
in?
don't pay it, you will lose your certificate now. It's part of the whole stuff.
Okay.
So, I mean, that's why for me, it's always good to let you know what you're settling in for. For some of us, our organization will pay for us. For some of us, our organization would not pay. Before, my organization used to pay while I was around, but now the organization I work with is not paying for it, but I pay my certification fees myself. As we're saying, your certification fee is part of what you have to pay every year with your membership dues. So for those of us in our corporate organization pays for us, what they are paying for is both your membership and your certificate maintenance. Now, in some organizations, they have a cap. I think maybe it was when I was in Unity Bank, or either Unity Bank or FCMB, I can't remember which one. There was a cap. So I already had my CISA and CISM. So they had to pay maybe the certificate, the membership and the CISA, then I pay the CISM, something like that. But either way, if your organization pays your dues, be happy, enjoy it. But if they don't, then you should have it at the back of your mind that you have to pay it. My dad actually was a CISA before I was. In fact, he introduced me to the world of CISA because ISACA was brought to Nigeria by accountants. So that's why when Chidi was saying that he didn't have much experience, I was like, no. I mean, the people who introduced these IT audits were actual financial auditors at the first. And if you check, even in the leadership of the global ISACA body, most of the board members and influential guys there are majorly from the financial side of things. They mostly started from. All right. That being said, you need to have that back of your mind that this is what it takes. $45 for your membership, and maintenance fee, then your membership due. Now, your membership due is actually splitted between the ISACA International and the chapter that you belong to. All right. I used to be a part of the Lagos chapter of ISACA. I think I worked on some of the working group for education. So we're responsible for some of the training and some bulletins that we're doing in those early years. I don't know if we still do that. But currently, I'm no longer under ISACA Lagos. I moved my membership to a different location. Yes. So let's just run through this. If you have any question, feel free to just interject or but Lamide, was I able to answer your question with respect to the maintenance fee?
Yes, you did.
Have
Thank you.
you, okay, good. Thank you. So this is the 3-year cycle. I mean, if you have once you're certified, you would have your certificate appear under this. You would see that for my CDPSC, I'm in a new cycle from 2025. I've not put in any CP. I've not yet reported any CP yet. And one of the things you need to also try to do is avoid waiting till the end of the year before populating, because it becomes a little bit difficult to track. Okay, what have I done? What have I not done? All right. Um, for my CISA, I have it here, and you would see that okay, the CDPSC, right? I've been certified since 2001. All right. And I didn't write the exam. When the exam came, it's more like a godfathering thing. Based on my experience and other things, it was offered and I took it. So the longer you are and the more experience you have in the field, some of the boarding certifications that comes, you can actually get it and by just paying the money for the certificates because they know you already have the experience required to carry out the work. Okay. But you pay your maintenance, you pay your maintenance fee on them. Now for the CISA, you see that I got certified in 2014, right? And but when I started from the homepage, and I've been a member of ISACA since 2010. and that's when I wrote the exam first. I wrote it once I passed, yes, but I didn't rush to get certified, not because of experience. I think experience was part of it, but also I was trying to delay the cost that comes with it. That is this annual maintenance fee, because I knew then in 2010, I finished service in 2008. So I was just like 2 years on the job. And the job I was doing, it was more like pro bono, because for 2 years I was working with a consulting firm, not getting paid. So I didn't see any reason why I'm not getting salary and I'll be paying maintenance fee. So the idea for me was I needed the knowledge. So I gained the knowledge and I used the knowledge as much as I could. And when it was time, just before I would have to write the exam again to get recertified, I then applied for certification after 4 years. So I told you you have 5 years before your exam expires. So if you're the one that is going to be paying the maintenance fee and the membership fee for your exam by yourself, you can choose to delay applying for certification if that works for you. But I mean, most of us on this call are already working, and if you want to transit to a higher responsibility or to a different role or organization, I mean, this is a qualification that if it's IT audit job, it's always been asked for. It's always been asked for. And so you might not have the luxury of pushing it forward. But if it's someone who just finished from school, I can say you can push forward a little while before you apply for certification. So that is that. So I just needed to point out that. So for this last year, yes, I submitted like 63 hours. So you can see that you can actually submit more than 20 or even more than 40 for each year. Then I've not put in anything for this year yet. For the season, I got certified in 2019, but I wrote the exam in 2014. Oh yeah, 2015 actually. Yeah. So you see again that I passed the exam after, I mean, in 2015. That should be June. Yeah, June 2015. But I did not apply for the certification till 2019, when it was almost time to either write the exam or push it forward. So what I'm just trying to point out here is this: if you do not need a certificate to move to the next level at work, all right, if you're here just to, okay, you understand what it entails and be able to do the job, all right, you can actually pass the exam and just stay solo. And then when before it expires, you can then apply and then start paying the annual maintenance fee. For me, that was a major stuff because I didn't want to carry that burden on myself when I just started my career. But now, good enough, I can afford it. So why not? Any question on this so far? So we've talked about membership status, certification, and CPE management. Any questions before I move ahead? So let's go to the learning access. You can register for webinars, virtual summits, and you earn your CPEs. So you can earn free CPEs from here. One of the things I'm supposed to show us today is also how I do go about earning my CPEs. Some of them are things you know already. Some of them maybe you don't know, but whichever way, I'll just share it with you. And then hopefully, um, when you apply for your certification and you have it, you won't have a trouble of submitting your CPA hours. For the person I told you lost his certificate, it wasn't because he didn't have money for the maintenance fee. It was just basically he wasn't submitting his CPA hours. And that also would get you disqualified, even if you pay your maintenance fee. All right, here, so let me go to this place. We have under training and events, you have training by topics, you have training by types, blah, blah, blah. Coming. Yeah, all these like virtual summits, webinars. you can actually watch the archived version. I mean, you don't have to be there online when the training happens, all right? But you can join after. So, for example, this is archived until May 2025. This is going soon. So, let's see. So basically, they looked at, okay, what are the things that I have missed, all right, and some of them are expiring soon. So for these, like you have this CMMI CSF Cybersecurity Framework 2.0 from NIST. They give an update. I think this will likely be a 1 hour stuff. So if I click on this now, it would add it to my learning. So it will be as if I'm shopping for it, but I'll not pay anything. And then if I do that training, it will automatically add that one CPE hour. So it's just one CPE. So I can register for it and then listen in and then take it. So it will be as if I'm paying, but it will be free. So just give me a minute, let me run through this, then I know we're done. Okay, so if we go back to, okay, I think I need to check out. Mhm. Okay, okay. All right, so with that, it's done. So I would get this on my account and then I can go back and watch it before it expires. So you can actually get free CPAs from ISACA site by going to the webinars, both the archived and the live ones. All right. And yeah, I need to verify it. Let me go back here. Then depending on your chapter would also have trainings. I know ISACA Lagos used to have a lot of trainings, at least once a month or once every 2 months. So, and they crashed the price at some point. So I'm expecting that it's possible those prices are still at a crashed rate, hopefully. And so anyone you see the free is it's free. Anyone that you don't see free there, you have to pay for it. You have to pay for it. Yeah, that's that about the learning access. So the CPE records, you have them here. Come on. Sorry. So to add your CPA, you come here. Now, what I was showing out here is for the training that you do with ISACA, you have your certificate show here. That is the learning access. Whatever you have will come here, and then once you take it, the certificate appears here. Like if you apply for resources like work papers, this is where it will come to. Like I have IT business continuity audit, Azure audit program, application container audit program, cloud computing management audit program. So these are documents that are relevant to me and for my work. So I always, when I see them, I get them, and once they are under my portfolio here, I can easily download it. And you can see they tell you when it's available on to, up to before it will be taken out of your portal. So these are things that I have downloaded for myself. Physical environments, security audit. If you're doing a data center audit, to be good to have. If your organization uses a cloud platform, it would be good to see what we have in the audit program there. Or you have outsourced your IT environment, so you have a model of IT as a service in your organization, then this is a document that will help you do the audits of that outsourced IT environment. So you have a lot of materials at your disposal, basically. Yeah. So that's that. Then we have, let me see here, nothing there for me now. So let me just quickly show us the reporting of the CPs, and then I would show just how to do it, or at least what is expected. Then I'll go to the site where I said I do get my own certifications from. So when you write an exam and pass an exam, you are entitled to some CPE hours. All right. So for example, this one, season passer, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6, that's like 48 this thing, but I never used it. But I can't use it again because it has elapsed. It's valid in year 2020, 2015. So I'm sure I didn't need it because I would have done other trainings that would have warranted that. So I didn't use it. That's still here. But even if I apply it today on any of my certificate, it doesn't apply because this was a training or an exam that was passed in 2015. Okay, but now look at the CPs I've submitted here. All right, there's this one from ISACA. It was a virtual submit on implementing, maintaining effective cyber practice. Is there? Then on that place, I get most of my trainings from is SANS. Has any of us have heard of SANS? SANS. Are we still together? Am I
Yeah,
talking to
yeah, no.
Just tell me if I'm talking too much so I can go back and cut short on a few things. All
Not
right,
at all.
so
Can you show us the SANS?
I'm going to show us the science. It's part of what I'm going to do. I'm just showing you what I have reported to help you know that I mostly get my CPs without going for formal trainings. And when I go for formal trainings, I also put them there. But I can certify, I can meet my CPE needs just from places like Science, from ISACA itself, and from even Udemy trainings. If you pay for an Udemy training, once you're done, you get a certificate which you can also use. All right. So, but I have a way of getting Udemy trainings for free, and it's legit. Is not how do I call it now? It's not breaching IP or intellectual property or anything. So basically, you'll find out that I have a lot like this IoT product security is actually a training from I think it was from what do you call it now? LinkedIn Learning, non-ISACA this thing, but it was from LinkedIn Learning. All right, it's one of the trainings. So how many of us have a LinkedIn Learning access? Maybe your office is part of the learning platform you have.
You do.
Okay, you do. And when you do your trainings, is it possible to get your certificate in your name on LinkedIn Learning?
Yes.
Beautiful. So if you have LinkedIn Learning, you will never have a problem with reporting CPs. You just need to go through a full course there. The number of hours that the course takes, you come and you report it. It can be 8 hours, it can be 10 hours, it can be 20 hours, whatever it is. And if the hours are, I mean, is it's no matter the hours, you can actually share that hour between if you have more than one certificate. So for me, if I go for a training of maybe 3 days, which will be like 24 CP hours, I can report 8 CP hours for CISA, 8 CP hours for CISM, 8 CP hours for CDPSC, or 12 CP hours for CISA, and share the remaining one between the remaining two, or 12 CP hours for 12 CP hours for CDPSC, whichever one, depending on which one you've met the goal of reaching the minimum of hours that you need to report for that year. All right, so it's very, very important. So you can use your LinkedIn Learning also to get your CP hours. So you have different places you can get it. So whichever way, just make sure you get your CPA hours and report it. Any question before I leave the ISACA site? Any question? Okay. if there are no questions, let's go to sans.org. So this is my go-to place. I've been I've been with them for as long as I can remember. They have very, very good white papers on information security. I think someone, is it Chidi that was saying maybe looking into cybersecurity of some sort, right? Chidi, were you the one? Or was it Ebenezer? No, I don't think it was Ebenezer.
Yeah, it was me. It was Chidi.
Right. Okay, yeah. So SANS is a good place to get resources, read up things. I mean, they also have a school. They offer masters and all of that, but I'm not saying you should go for their masters. They also have certifications. The certifications are very expensive, maybe like $4,000 for one certificate or $5,000. But they have a lot of free materials and they do a lot of free trainings, extensive trainings. A lot of the trainings are sponsored by various companies, so you get product specific information also, but you get good knowledge from them. So let me just quickly log in, show you a few things. Let's do it again. So put aside. You need to just register. It's free. They have free tools, free resources. And so if you are into digital forensics, these are SIFT workstations, more like a VMware with enough tools to carry out forensic investigation on maybe a drive or something. So they have a lot of things. All right. So just spend time and check it out. Let me quickly log in so that I will show you my profile and see how I go about getting the CPEs. Okay, so this is my account with them. Under my webcast, you'll see all the trainings that I've applied for this year. So the beauty about it is you can see the trainings and the certificate. Now, I always advise you attend or at least go through it, have an understanding of what you're doing because you get to learn. But as long as you apply for their trainings, once the training is done, you have a link to the training and you also have a link to your certificate. So like this summit on AI, it was just in March. It was a 2-day training, and I'm just trying to open it here. So you just see this is a certificate. So you have, I think, yeah, this is a 3 hour for the first day. You have another, how many hours do we have there? Have another 3 hours, that's 6 hours. You have some training that are like 8 hours training. And so just a little, I mean, right now, just that particular program already have 6 hours. And assuming, okay, I just got CISA certified and I already have 6 hours out of the minimum of 20 to maintain my certificate already. So it becomes easy. And once they are done with the training, you have the link under your webcast attended. You can access the videos and earn your CPE credit and just like that, like this is 3 hours 21 minutes, that right, it's just 3 hours CP. Now I can't share the audio because I'm using Zoom, what do you call it now, I'm using Zoom on the web, so it will take off my mic. But basically this is just it, so you can always go and get those they have different instructors. You can see there are different people talking on different topics. And I mean, you just get to increase your knowledge. I think I think it was Tosin that was talking about being able to expand our knowledge knowledge, all right, on security and the likes. Now, one of the things that I need to be upfront with us here is the CISA training is not going to, it's not a hands-on training, all right. It's basically process driven, what should be done, how it should be done. It's not going to tell you or show you this is me doing it, because in the exam nobody is telling you to do it. It's not a practical exam. It's basically you need to read and understand, and then it's scenario based. You need to be able to say, if I were to be in this scenario, if I were to be in this position, this is what my decision would be. So it's all about decision making, making the right calls and choosing the right answers to questions and all of that. So to augment your knowledge, that's why you go to all these other sites and go for trainings that are relevant to your job, to the course you're doing. For me, in this past week, I've been a little bit obsessed with having GPT as a local drive. I mean, on my local drive for personal use, and then augment it with my documents. Maybe for work, I need to do some analysis or extract some information from. All right. So it has nothing to do with any certification. So basically, the class will basically run through what is expected of us as an IS auditor. So every question is always in the perspective of, as an IS auditor, what would you do if you are in this position or if you are in that position? Okay, so those are the things that should be at the back of our minds. These are things that the questions will be, tailored towards. But to get the feel of the industry usage and other things, you can come to SANS. And there are a lot of videos on YouTube on different topics. So you can choose to obsess, you can choose your own poison. For me, I'm a big buff for anything information security. One of the sites I normally introduce to students is Try Hack Me. Let me see if I can find one of the pages I have open. So if you want to gain hands-on experience, it's a good place to go to. Any question on SANS? I don't think there should be. Well, any question to be sure, I've covered that with you guys. Any questions? Okay. So basically, if you're on SANS, just go to the training sections. You would see all the trainings they have. Sorry. The trainings and submits, you would see the trainings they have in person, online. So most likely to be online trainings you would get. And for some of the trainings, they have the free part and they have the one you pay. All right. So like, let's see this SANS Dubai. This is not even the one I'm looking. So as I was saying, this particular training, I think this one you can watch on YouTube. Okay. Yep. You can end CPs, but just give me a minute. I'm trying to see. Yes, I know it's paid. I know it's paid. So you register in person, register online. Yeah. So these are paid ones, and don't let me scare you guys. Let's scare you guys and give me a minute. Yeah. Where are you guys I'm looking for now? Yeah. Not learning parts. It's still training. Yeah, free training events. So this is what you should be looking for. Yes. So these are the ones we're looking at here. So for example, there's a ransomware summit 30th of May. And I think it's like 6 CP hours for free. So all you just need to do is register, and you have the agenda here: adopting tradecraft, examining ransomware, um, yeah, teams, scam, ransomware, blah blah blah.
Please, is
So
it
for
possible
the
for these trainings and you have the CP during the time you get certified and you have recalled, or it will be real time?
the CP is meant for after you have the certificates, but you can go for the trainings and just have the CP certificate, but you can't apply that CP certificate on your certificates. So, for example, if you write the exam now in September, any of the CPs you do before September, as long as it's this year, you can still report it.
Okay.
But if you're taking the trainings and you're getting those certificates now, all right, or maybe your office sends you to UK for an IT security training, all right, and it's this year, and it's next year you now write the exam and apply for certificate. You can't retrofit that, okay, I did a training last year. The year of the training has to coincide with the year you're reporting your CPE in. So, but if you're writing the exam this year and getting certified this year, then any training you've done from January, you can report it this year as part of what you've done this year.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So please let's visit sans.org. It's a good place. Just go on that trainings and look for free trainings. They have a lot. So one of the things I do at the beginning of the year is I go and check all the trainings that are there for free, and they always plan ahead and then apply for it. So if I check, you would likely see, oh, sorry, I'm in the wrong place. You would likely, so this is May 21. Let me see if I can go back a bit to my dashboard. How do I see other things I've registered for within my orders? Bear with me, please. Just want to be sure. While this is coming up, have you guys gotten the soft copy of the training manual? Do you have the training manuals, the soft
Yes,
copy?
we have the soft copy.
Okay, that's good. That's good. Just want to be sure. All right, so I guess it's after you've applied that, I mean, once the submit is over, before you would know. So let me try something like this one. I have a feeling that I have registered before, but if I've registered before, you should let me know. All right, so if I were to do this registration, I'm coming here. Give me a minute. Because I try, I mean, at the beginning of the year, I register for everything from January to almost December so that I have it. And once it happens or when it's happening, I join. And they also have a Slack communication channel where they post questions and other materials beyond just the slide. Like the ones that I showed earlier, their slide is always with the, okay, let me go back here. The slides are always on the page of the training. So when you see the link for the training down here, oh, yes, you see watch now. You also have the presentation slides for the whole session. So you have everything, and it becomes a huge resource for you when you want to make references. Um, for me, a lot of times the essence of these things is just to be able to have when I'm in need of an information, be able to lay my hand on it easily. So I'm trying to register for what I have here. I'll leave this like this. Just leave it like this. Something is missing. Yeah. So this is an error. Blah 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 blah. I have an existing order. So I've ordered this before. So once you have things like this, you know that okay, you've done it before now. All right, so Please lay your hands on Sans. Any question on Sans before we leave here? I think I've spent enough time here, and my time seems to be running away. I think I wanted to share this try hack me with us. Um, has any of us heard of try hack me prior to now? Hello,
Sorry, tried what?
try hack me. Can you
Okay.
see
Yes, we can.
my screen? Okay,
We can.
okay. Um, Now, this is not a free site. Okay, don't let me say it's not a free site. You have the free, you can be a member for free. You will be able to access some of the trainings and some of the topics for free. But for some other topics, you have to pay. So this is me. I've been on this. I've been with them for quite a while. I've not done any study in recent times, though. But just come. Let's go to learn. I mean, the idea is just to show us. I mean, I hope I'm not bugging you guys. But the idea here is just to show us what's possible beyond just the CISA. I mean, I can go as well and just start dumping all the ISACA modules on you, but it's not relevant in reality, um, because you need to be able to know what your expectations are. And one of the things I've clearly stated is your sister wants you to know something about everything. But for your job and for career advancement, you need to be able to specialize, being able to be, I mean, better or the best at something. And for that to happen, you have to be going for trainings on security trainings. And if you can get them for free, the better. You need to be able to set your goals and then shoot for them. And that's what I'm just trying to encourage and try to push for. And by introducing us to all these sites that I use. So the information I'm sharing to you is not relevant to the exam itself, but it's relevant to helping you to be a better version of someone with security knowledge of some sort. Yeah. Um, so let's quickly go to learn. Just show us a few things. So it has learning parts. You can talk about different parts. Cybersecurity 101, pre-security, basically talk about cybersecurity basics, networking basics, common website attacks, understanding Linux operating system. Then you have the sub level one, which speaks to incident management. All right, detect, analyze anomalies, monitor endpoints of threats, utilize SIM tools, investigate forensic artifacts. Um, these are different aspects. So security is wide, but the idea is that on this platform you can easily get the information you want, learn, and so that when the time comes to showcase yourself at work, all right, or there is an issue that needs resolution, you would be already equipped to handle it. So these are different training tracks they have, all right, or training parts. Under each part, you have different other topics. So, for example, you have this CompTIA Security or CompTIA Pen Test Plus. It's a certification from CompTIA, but they've made some form of training here that you will go through all these topics. And once you're done with all these topics, you would have covered what is expected in CompTIA Pen Test Plus, and possibly you can go and write the exam if you want to. All right. So under this now you have penetration fundamentals, red team engagement, governance regulation, the tools and code analysis tools, Wireshark, Bobsuit, Hydra, Python basics, Python for pen testers. So this is just this thing. And again, this is another place where you can get CPA hours. So like for each of these course, let me just take one here and just show us something. It has the number of minutes that it's involved. So once you're done, right, like this one is expected to be done in 30 minutes. Then you have, let me look at that one on Python for pen testers. And I've not done that training yet. But Just give me a minute. This one is also like a 30-minute stuff. To take you through this, you would have labs, all right? You start a machine and then, I mean, basically, you would have good hands-on. You would have good hands-on. So just take your time and visit it. And before we leave here, I think I wanted to show us the rooms. All right, it's still part of the whole thing. You can have free subscription. All right, I mean, if you subscribe, you can go to tryhackme.com and subscribe without paying. Without paying, you will have access to all of this. There is a whole lot you will have access to. This, like a whole lot of resources you have access to, right? But if you pay, you now have more. And for subscription only, you now talk about things like your MISP, Windows Event Log, web enumeration. So there's a whole lot much more for the paid or the premium service. So I would always advise you start with the free, see how it feels. If it's something you like, then you pay for it. For me, I started with the free and then I opted to paying for it. I hope, yeah. I think I'm still paying. I'm still paying for it. I think it automatically debits my account of some sort, but I need to validate and check so I don't miss out on some other things. So, any questions on the Try Hack Me? It's just for anyone who is interested in security. Feel free to knock your head around there. Here is this. I'm trying to check on something. I think I logged into this account with a wrong account. Yeah. Just give me a minute. The trainings that I'm mentioning here, it's not for you to do immediately. All right. Some of these things are just things that would be of reference to you for your work, or you want to find out something new, or you want to, oh, you think he's sending me a code somewhere. You're trying to find out something that you're not aware of, all right? Or you're on a project, and for example, you need to now use Python. So, for example, I mentioned to us that okay, and this last week I've been hitting my head on how to do have a type of chat GPT on my local system, right? And I have to do some Python, do some, yeah, Visual Studio Code platforms or application and all those things. So there are things that I've heard of, I've seen, but I've not actively worked with. So for me, having trainings like this or this kind of information where I can easily go and check or watch a quick video. I know there's YouTube, all right, but there are other platforms where you can actually do these trainings, and when you showcase it, it also showcases what you're capable of doing, all right, because you will have hands-on experience. So for me, that's why I'm showing you this. It's not, and I gave a disclaimer earlier that my goal is just to help us understand the whole, I mean, everything from the point of starting preparation to maintaining your certificate and things you can do to earn your CP hours. I think that's what led us to all of this. So the trainings that we're talking about that you can do is from the perspective of after you've gotten certified. You don't have to do any of those trainings while preparing for your CISA. You don't need it. But these are ways for you to maintain your certificate, and that's why I'm spending my time or our time looking at it. So if you see here, this zero to hero Olama create local LLM. This is one of the trainings I got this week because I was trying to do create a local LLM on my laptop, right? And funny enough is I got it for free. And that's what I want to show us how we can get it for free. I have a lot of trainings that I've paid for. Okay, don't let me say a lot of trainings I've paid for. I have some trainings on Udemy that I have paid for. All right. But most of the trainings I have, or the other trainings I have, are all free. So imagine that I go through this training and complete it. This is a 3 hours course, right? I'm going to get a certificate of completion. with this certificate of completion, I can submit my CPE hours for my certificate with ISACA. I'll still use the same certificate or this CP Udemy certificate or SAN certificate to submit for my EC Council certifications, the CEH and the likes there. And I'll still use the same certificate or training certificate to submit for my CC with ISC squared. So I don't have to go to 1,000 trainings to be able to meet all my obligations in maintaining my certificates. And so what I'm just trying to do is show us how I get to do it. You might not have to do it because if you go for a training or 1 week training from your office in a year, 1 week is already 40 hours. So you just need 5 full days of training, and then you're good for the whole year for one certificate. Though, if you have more than one, then you would have to do much more. All right, so that's that. So like this training, whenever I finish it, I'll have 3 CPA hours. But most times for me, I'm always just going, not just for the certificate, especially for Udemy and the likes, because my my SAN certificate covers for the number of certificates I have as at now. So I mean, I can do this. You can report much more. And also, even when I train you guys like this, all right, at the end of the year, I can ask 3V to provide me a certificate attesting that I did this number of hours of training, and I can use that to, I mean, for my CPE also. So they all contribute to it. The idea is you have a goal of passing your exam, getting certified. Then this phase that we are conversing on is how to maintain that certificate so that we don't have stories that touch the heart at the end of the day. So these are trainings. I mean, like this one, I got it from another site for free. And normally, Udemy gives you free training. So let's go to Udemy directly just to show you what I'm saying. So if you go to Udemy and you just let's say IT software, blah blah blah. Sorry about this. I know my time is a little spent, but bear with me a bit. It will soon be done. It'll soon be done. I can filter for uh, trainings that are free. All right. But the difference between these free trainings that you get from, let me see. Okay, let's look at this. The difference between this and the one that I get from another site, all right, is that see what you have. You have all the course. The free that you get directly from Udemy, you would have all the course content, but you would not get certificate of completion. You would not have question and answer from instructor. You can't directly message the instructor. And that same course, it actually is offering something free. You can see still 64 here. Let me go, blah, blah, blah. Let me take this course. I don't know if I've taken it. If I've taken it, it's supposed to have shown. So I don't know if I've taken it before. Um, Once I click on this course coupon, it gives me the same course right now, applies the coupon, which you would not easily have seen. All right, so the same course here that is 64.99 euro, I can get it with a coupon that I will get from the Disc Udemy, and I'll get it for free. It's still same 8 hours, and I still get my certificate of completion once I'm done. So this is it. I just enroll and I have the course. So I just
How do we get the coupon? Because I know coupons are not always easy to see.
yeah. So this site has the, how I put it now, has the list of trainings that have coupons. So
Okay.
I don't have to know what the coupon is. I'll just follow the link the way I did. Open the stuff and then click on the course coupon here. So it automatically applies it. So for
Okay.
me, what I do is I mean, let me go back to my profile here on Udemy. You would see under my learning, I have a lot of trainings. I've actually paid for a few trainings. I'm excited about anything that has to do with information security, then communication, language. There are things that I'm interested in. So if you look at all of this now, you see I have a training here that talks about presentation with ChatGPT. I have mastering Google Notebook LM. This particular one was very interesting to me. If you've never used this Google Notebook LM, please do it. You can feed it your own information like your CISA manual and then ask it questions. It will give you answers from the manual that you can see and even take you on how to do the trainings there. So it's something that just Google or search for Google Book LM. It's free. It's a Google application. It's very free. You can upgrade with a certain amount. If you want to upgrade, it's basically because you want to expand the number of files you can upload in a particular session for the AI to analyze. But for a free version, it gives you to be able to upload up to 50 content, PDF, YouTube links, notebooks, when you say notebooks now, txt files, stuff like that. So, I mean, what led me to that Google Calendar is I was watching something on YouTube and I wanted to see how to implement this and use it for my personal knowledge and learning and research work. I'm doing a particular course right now. The assignments are plenty. What I just do is I upload all my course materials, all the reading materials, and then the questions from the class. I will go through the videos in the class, record the audio, translate the audio to the Google Notebook LM. It transcribes, so it converts my audio to text. Is there, and so when I'm going through the questions, I already choose my answers. So I'm not a lazy student. Bear with me. I choose my answers, but I don't like missing anything, right? So I'll just copy the question and the options that it gives me and paste it there. And then it will go through it will go through the lesson notes for that week, go through the reference material that were given, and then give me the best answer. So that way I can cross-check, maybe I got it wrong or I got it right. But either way, it makes my life easy and makes it easy for me to get my work done. All right. So you can see this one, Guitar and Microsoft Excel. I get materials, both what I need, what I don't need, but I feel I might need, like this Prometheus masterclass. It actually has to do with, I think, incident management and all of that. But I just get it so that when the need arises, I can just quickly do a refresh, and I'm not thinking of buying a course from this thing. So the downside here is that you can't just choose which course has coupon, in the sense that you can't say, okay, is there a coupon on this? Like you can see there, I mean, you should be able to search for some topics, I guess, but maybe I haven't tried it. But yeah, you can search. Let me wait. Bear with me. There are some things I've not done before, so let me try something. Uh, Can somebody give me a topic that you're passionate about? Let me just try something. Let me look for it on Udemy, then see if I can find it on the other side. Anybody? A topic you're passionate about?
ICT risk management.
Okay, ICT risk management. Let me do something. Thank you. Okay. I'm coming to see if this will show me something. Okay, so yeah, so that means this set will work. The truth is, I've never tried it before. So what I did was the one that I know that the one I just bought now from Udemy for free. I just also did a reverse search and I could find it here. So that means if I take a text from Udemy like this, I should be able to search if that topic exists here, and then if there's a valid coupon or something.
Okay.
So it doesn't have that. Let me go back to the search. It's still showing me what I had put down there before. So it doesn't have this particular course. All right. So if there's a course you like, you can actually just check if it has it. Let me see. Does it have anything on ISO 31000? Okay, let me do something. Let me check for, I said 27001. It's at least a common standard. Then 001, if there's any stuff that has it, no. So it doesn't have that. But if you have a topic, or if you can, so what I'm trying to just point out is you can do a reverse search. Let me go to English. Yeah. You can always do a reverse search. If you have a topic that you have there on Udemy that you're interested in, you can come and search if it exists here. Please bear with me. All right, sorry about that. So so what I do basically is I get prompted on Telegram for this. So once I see it, I just check if it's a topic I'm interested in and I pick it. So for example, this executive diploma in CTO. So let me just send this link to us. Just explore it. If oh, all right, sorry about that. I needed to pay attention to one young man. Okay, so I've pasted. Okay, sorry, I thought I'd sent it. So I've sent the Udemy. This Udemy link. You need to have an Udemy account first. For you to have a Udemy account, you don't need to pay anything. All right, you can use your Google account or Hotmail any account. And if you use your Google account, you don't need to sign in to just work like a single sign-on. All right, but here, you can check for what you want. For me, I always go for anything that captivates my attention, like these diploma CTO. All right. It sounds fun. And so I can choose to just go through it and see what can I learn. The idea is just we need to have a curious mind. And I'm sure you get this what do you call it now? This particular DeepSeek A model. When it came, it it threatened and ChatGPT to the point where everybody was a major talk of the town then. All right, so uh like this now is just like 1 hour course. Just talking about different things from what do you call it now? Vendor management, platform versus products, Sigma, technology management, blah blah blah. So if it's something you're interested in, you can always pick it. For me, I always go for trainings at least either 1 hour or more. The 30-minute stuff, I just leave them alone. It doesn't add any that much. Like this one now is like a 2.5 hour training. So yeah, why not? I'll see, okay, DeepSeek versus Chat, GPT, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, I think that would be a good place to stop talking about this Udemy. Do you have any questions, concerns? So far, so good. Are we good?
Yes, okay.
All right. So don't mind me, my first class is always just like this. Hopefully, the next class we will actually talk more or start the conversation on the domains itself. As you likely have been told, Neri will be taking you domain 1, 2, 3, and I will be responsible for the domain 4 and 5. And somehow, I think those two domains account for over 50% of the whole, yeah, about 60% of the whole CISA question. So you can't run away from it. It's not possible. It's not possible to run away from it. So if you get a good grasp of domain 4 and 5, you'll be in a better place because you'll be able to handle whatever questions come our way. Okay. Any questions so far? We'll be rounding up shortly. Just want to be sure that there are no questions or anything that are of concern that I might not have taken care of. Yeah. Is there anything you feel that I might not have taken care of that I should have? Something that you feel that you need to know that I have not mentioned? Or you have a question either related or not related to the course? Okay. Let's see. All right. I'll quickly share the document. Most likely you already have it, or at least you know what is there. I need to quickly share this now, so just bear with me in the next few minutes so that you have a good view of what you need to do. Oh, can you still see my screen?
Yes, we can.
Okay, okay. I thought I stopped sharing at some point, but no problem. So this is just the big program, all right, for ISACA, the suite of certification it has. At least some are not yet here. They have a different document for those. But the one of interest to us is the CISA. I had a student who, after writing her CISA, went for CISM, and all she did was she studied by herself, just read the text. So I'm just saying it's possible that once you're done with your CISA, maybe you want to drink water or you want to just go head on into it, whichever way works. All right. So now, as I have also explained, you need 5 years or more experience in IS audits, control, assurance, or security. Now you have waivers that are up to a maximum of 3 years. And I said with your BSc, you already have 2 years gone. All right. So if you have your master's, that's an additional 1 year. So if you have a BSc and a master's, all you need is just a 2 years experience to apply for this certification. As I also said, NERI is taking your domain 1 information system audit process. It's 18%, very important. Governance and management of IT, another 18%. That's also very important. Then you have your domain 3, which is information system acquisition, development, and implementation. It used to be bigger than this, but it's 12% now. All right. It's not that it's not important. What has happened is they try to situate the topics in other domains where it's more relevant. So you find out that your domain 3 is not too heavy as it used to be before. which means that it will cover things like your system development life cycle, a little bit about vendor management and some things, and you deal more in depth with all those topics in your 4 and 5. So domain 4, I will be taking us information systems, operations, and business resilience, IT operations, and disaster recovery, business continuity plans, and all of that are on your domain 4. It used to be smaller than this, but now it's 26% of the whole course. And domain 5, protection of information assets, is also 26%. All right, so this is where we talk about the various security technologies that one can put in place to, secure our organization and our assets. You can see the exam is a 4-hour exam. You can take it in English. If you can speak Chinese, you can also go for it. For now, we don't have the Yoruba version, neither do we have the Igbo or Hausa, but we still have it in English. So feel free to take it in any language you like, but I think English will work for us. It's a 4-hour course, exam. And so these whole 10 weeks that we'll have together is going to come down to 4 hours. Now, for that 4 hours course, you have 240 minutes for the exam. And number of questions is 150. Now, if you go by to do a calculation, right? You find out that the exam, you would have approximately one question should be done in, I'm coming, 240, 150 questions. One question will now be done in 240 divided by 150. So you have like 1 minute, you have like 1.6 minutes, right? 0.6 minutes is a few seconds. Yeah. I'm coming. Yeah, so 1 minute, 36 seconds. So one of the things we try to do in the course, or at least I try to do early, is solving questions. And so when Madam Folashade, you were saying that, okay, that the sites and other things, where is the time to go through all those things? I try to explain that we don't really need to go through all that now. It would happen after you get certified. You're using them for your CPEs. But for light reading or light viewing, you can also do that for personal stuff. Now, we have 240 questions, right? And we have 150 questions in 240 minutes. All right. I always recommend, so assuming we are not going to use the strategy I always propose, then what it will mean is that you would have to solve at least, on average, one question in 1 minute, 36 seconds. Now, yeah, it looks distant. And by the time we start going through the classes and practice a few questions, you find out that there are some questions that in 10 seconds, you know the answer because they are short. And there are some questions that will take up to 2 minutes, 5 minutes for you to figure it out. All right. But if you learn the methods that will be taught here, you don't need to wait for 5 minutes. Any question that you can't finish in maximum 2 minutes, then you move on. All right. You need to be able to make those snap decisions to either stay on a question or move on from it. But one thing I always say is this: leave no question unanswered. Even a question that you don't know, pick one answer. We all went to secondary school now. Mini, mani, mo. If you don't, we're all adults, and by God's grace, most of us are on our own, and maybe our parents are not paying our school fees. Our parents are not paying our school fees, or You are a man, you're a woman, either a husband, wife, girlfriend, boyfriend, whichever one. But we're all adults, which means that we need to be thick-skinned. You know it's your money, so you have to give it your best. But if I haven't done all you can and it seems as if it's not falling in, then you know that you gather yourself and focus on it. But here, what I'm saying is this: you can't afford to panic in the exam. If you see a question that you don't know, pick an answer and just move on. But you always need to mark it as yeah, when we're doing paper based, to be not sure. But in the computer based, you can mark a question for review later. So when you finish the exam, you just go and check for those questions that has the yellow ring on it, which are marked for review. All right, so that you don't spend unnecessary time, so you can gain speed on the questions that takes only 10 seconds, 20 seconds, or even 30 seconds to solve. So the first strategy is have set aside 30 minutes for review. You set aside 30 minutes for review, which means that we have only practically we have 210 minutes. That's what we should allot to ourselves. So while everybody is running towards finishing one question in 1 minute 36 seconds, right? We are going to be going for 1.4 minutes, which is uh, okay, which is 1 minute 24 seconds. And that means you're just, I mean, you'll be surprised how much you're saving by just taking 12 seconds out of what you should have used. You would, after 4 hours, have saved like 30 minutes. Now, this 30 minutes is for revision. This is the strategy I use when I was writing my CISA, my CISM, and all the certifications I have. All right. I go prepared, planned, and if I don't know something, I pick an answer but come back to review it. Because if you don't, there is no negative marking. So if it's wrong, it's wrong. But there's always that 25% probability that it will be right, especially if it's a guesswork. So why go for 0% probability when you still have 25%? So just choose an answer. All right. That's one. So what we're saying is this: reserve 30 minutes for review. Your 210 minutes that you have, split it in 3 places, which is like 70 minutes. So basically, yeah, 70 minutes. So basically, after every 1 hour, check, have I done up to 50 questions? All right. If you've not done up to 50 questions, then you know you are running short of time. Because what happens is, it's not that a lot of students that fail don't know the course, but they get to relax trying to reason things in the exam. And that's why the time to reason is when you are preparing for exam. Your Sunday classes or whichever day you guys choose to meet, make sure you are solving questions. Deliberate on the questions. Find out, why is this question right? Why is it wrong? You can do all those deliberation now. But in the exam hall, you are asking yourself those questions very, very fast. All right. So we need to get to the point where we can pick up answers in a very, very short time. The questions are not difficult, in sincerity. If you've read the manual, if you've come through the classes, ask the right questions, practice questions, they are not difficult. But the timing. So people run out of time very fast. But if you follow this strategy, you would likely not run out of time. Rather, you will have enough time to review what you've set out for review. Now, during this revision period, it's not time to go and review all your questions. Never second guess yourself. Whatever decision you made at first, most likely is the right decision, especially when you're making snap judgments. But if you go back and start reviewing, it's only when at the point of making that decision you were not sure. Those are the only ones you should review. Any other thing, leave it alone. All right? Leave it alone. Just leave it there. And you'll be surprised how your results will turn out well. All right. So we've said that Okay, I think I've overshot my time a little bit. Just allow me explain this, then we'll put it into practice next week when we meet, and then we'll kickstart the class formally. So make sure that you have 30 minutes to yourself for revision. Um, Part of what you need to do is you need to go through your manual at least once yourself, at least once. The essence is to familiarize with the terminologies, technologies that are being referred to in the manual. Because in your questions, those are the things that they'll be dropping. So if you don't know what e-commerce means, you don't know what client server architecture means or thin client means, it will throw you off balance. So you will not be able to pick the right answer. All right. So you need to get familiar with the terminologies. You need it. So you need to review your manual at least once. The other thing is when solving the question, you need to be able to eliminate at least two wrong answers. I mean, the way the question is framed, in some cases, it's graduated. They're asking for the best option, the least this, the most that. So you also need to be able to rank your options and say, out of these four, this is the most important, this is the least important, and eliminate those two. Now, the remaining two, if you are not sure, still pick one. But what has happened is you've moved away from 0% possibility of passing to 25% possibility of passing when you choose just guesswork. All right. To 50% if you can comfortably eliminate two wrong answers from all of the questions. You've given yourself a 50% chance of passing the question. And then if you can now, of a certainty, pick the right answer, and you know this answer is right because of A, B, C, D, and option B, C, D is wrong because of 1, 2, 3. Now that is the perfect thing. You know that yes, that particular question you've hit it out of the park. I mean, it's a good deal. But I mean, you won't be at that point for all your questions. That's to be sincere with you. I mean, you're human, and even if you're a computer, not self, you make mistakes sometimes. What I'm trying to point out is this: the strategy I always recommend is you even out your odds. You by coming to class, you've moved yourself from the 0% to at least 25%. And that 25% is if you don't come to class regularly and you don't follow what we're teaching here. But the moment you commit yourself to a learning plan, you commit yourself to reading through your manual yourself, commit yourself to being in the class regularly, commit yourself to asking questions, you commit yourself to practicing with your colleagues and sharpening each other, I mean, preparing together, then your chances shoots up. So you go from 0 to 80, 90%, all right, or even 95%. But then there's a lot of work to be done. So we need to be able to eliminate at least two options that are wrong and then choose the right one. Now, the process of elimination, the mindset or the things that should always be in your mind is, why is this option correct? Why is this option not correct? You need to convince yourself. And this conviction we are talking of is something that has to happen in a split second. Now, class in preparatory sessions, they can happen for 5 minutes. I mean, I've been in a class where we solve questions, just one question. I'm looking at it and reading through it over and over again for like 5 minutes or 7 minutes, just one question. And then once we're done, we try to explain to each other why it's right, why it's not right. The essence is by the time you get to the exam hall, those conversations we've had in class, those conversations you've had in your study sessions are the things you will remember to help you know, okay, yes, this is the correct answer, and you move on. So you won't spend that 5 minutes that we're spending on one question in class in your exam because you already gained speed by the experience you've had over time. Now, one thing you should also know is CISA does not repeat questions. Or I don't know if they've told you or ordinarily mentioned it. So if you are thinking that if you solve questions, then the questions you solved is the exact one that will come out, then that is very, very wrong. Now, you will see questions that looks like it, sound like it, but it might not be it. The nuances are in the details. I mean, just a word like not or least or most changes the whole meaning of the same question, or even the context in which the question is asked changes the answer from what you practiced in the, I mean, during your preparatory time and in the actual exam. So for me, I would say just pay attention to the details there, and then don't try to cram when you are preparing. Understand why the answer is right or wrong. And with understanding, you can apply that understanding on the day of exam. But if it's la cram la pour, then you're in trouble. I think that will be that for me now. Any questions? I'm sorry I took like 8 minutes of your time, but I think it was necessary we just have this. Any questions? I hope I've not made you wonder if this is the exam for you. If I scared you, then most likely maybe the exam is maybe the exam is not for you. But if I didn't scare you, then yes, you are the ego of the house. You can do it. And we are here for you. You just need to place a demand on my time and the time of your other lecturer, and we'll give it. I mean, if you want us to, I mean, I'm speaking for myself. I can't speak for another person though. If you want me to help out in any way, you always reach out. If there are questions you solve during your study session you don't understand, you can always bring it to class, and I would gladly provide my own input or at least advice there. So hopefully next week we would start on top gear, practice a few questions, show us how to apply these principles that I've mentioned. I will reiterate what I've said, I mean, the last few minutes of this course and of today's lecture, and hopefully you'll be able to run with it. One thing I always ask students to do for me is, I use the word do for me, but actually you're not doing it for me, you're really doing it for yourself. And that is draw up a study plan. All right. How do you plan to read the manual in 1 year? Every student that's gone through my class, I've always told them, draw up a plan. Go through the manual, write out all the topics that are there, and break it into number of pages, and then draw up how you're going to read through everything in the next 10 weeks, which is what you have, at least for this course. All right. I mean, you have other days after that to prepare for the exam, but for the next 10 weeks, how do you plan to finish that manual? I always recommend that you choose one domain a day. You have, I mean, 5 domains. You can domain 1 Monday, domain 2 Tuesday, domain 3 Wednesday, domain 4 Thursday, domain 5 Friday. Saturday you come for lectures, and Sunday you do your review with your friends, and you're good. All right. So, and each domain don't have the same length. So before you know it, domain 1 will, you can finish domain 1 in the next 1 or 2 weeks. Then the next 8 weeks, maybe on Monday you do domain 5, and Tuesday domain 2, Wednesday domain 3, domain 4 on Thursday, then also do domain 5 again on Friday. So you find out that as you go ahead, once you finish one domain, you can replace that slot with a domain that is still pending until you're done with the manual. Now, the goal of reading through the manual is not to be able to recollect every single word there. So I can boldly say you can read it like a novel, just read through. You'll be surprised how much your mind is absorbing when it seems as if it's not absorbing things. So for me, I that's why I go for all these materials. There are things I've listened to, it's not relevant to my job, but at some point when it's needed, it comes. I remember. And when I speak, it sounds as if, I'm way. But the truth is, not really. There are things that I've heard in passing or watched in passing, but because it's needed now, I can recollect it. All right, so that will be that for me. If there's any question, please share. If there is none, then I'm hoping that I get to meet the 6 of us once again next week. SN, yeah, he did not speak up, so I'm not sure if he was on the call in CCAC here. But that's the dilemma of online training. You have some that are talking or can't, and some that can't talk because of where they are. But either way, just make sure you're learning. Thank you, everyone. It's free. You can interact with. I believe you're seeing my screen, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you can interact with different things. All right. So for me, like here, the science trainings. I told you they always give the documentation. So I can go to the site, download all the documentations, and load it up here. So if I want to find out anything about I can ask, okay, what is A? I mean, how do I go about this, or what is that? And then it will give me answers based on the documents that I have loaded. For this particular one, I don't think I've loaded anything on this particular science, but I have for CISA because I use it for you guys, right? I I do stuff. So let me say I want to refer to now, the manual you're using is this 28th edition, right?
Mm-hmm.
I'm coming, let me be sure. I have both the 27th and 28th, so I guess no. So this is this is a book from this guy, Hemang Doshi. I'll just post his name. He has a site that is also helpful, and he also has a YouTube page that has some videos on CISA. So, and it has some good materials here. So let me go back to the sources. Yeah. So I just want to pick the 28th edition, right? You guys have the manual. So let's say, let me see. Let me click on this. I want to interact with only the 28th edition. So I deselect all other sources and just pick only 28th edition. Now it speaks on different this thing. So let me just ask let me I don't know if there's anything on cloud computing here, but let me see. I think no, I think ISACA actually has introduced cloud computing in as part of his course here. So but yeah, it will go through the manual. I just asked what's cloud computing, right? And so now, the way to I can advise you to use it, like when you're solving questions, I mentioned that you should have a knowledge of the technology, have a knowledge of techniques, have a knowledge. So the keywords in the questions that you don't understand, you can just come here, type it. What is this? It will take you to it will explain, and then you would see. So here it says based on the provided source, which is just the 28th manual, 28th edition. Yeah. Cloud computing is defined as a model that offers convenient, scalable, on-demand network access to a shared pool of resources. And if you see it, this is it here, 28th edition. You the you you can, okay, let me see something. I'm trying to, so it gives you the reference. It's just that the page number is not showing here, but this is the book where I got it from. All right. So you see here, okay. Essentially, cloud computing delivers virtualized resources on demand to users over the internet. It gives you the different models, the cloud delivery models, infrastructure as a service, platform as a service, software as a service. So this is basically what it can find in the manual when it comes to cloud computing. So if you see in for your ISAC, your CISA exam, it's not asking you about doesn't talk about the implementation of cloud environment. It just tells you, so let's ask a question here. I think there should be something on auditing cloud here. Come. So let's see if there's anything around. Um, dum, 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 dum. Okay, so you have this cloud. So you figure 5.46. So I'm sure this will be unmodified. Yeah. So basically, it tries to pick things from the manual. So here it says if you are to do this based on the provided services, while there isn't a single number detailing explicit steps to audit. So you understand? Sorry. All right. Yeah. So here we're saying that you can say it's saying that based on the manual, you don't actually have a list of okay, this is what you should do, or a detailing explicit steps to audit and cloud service. But from initiation to completion, the source outlines the critical areas of focus, the methodologies that can be used, and the considerations that an ISA auditor should undertake when evaluating an organization's use of cloud services, particularly those provided by third parties. So auditing cloud service involves understanding the nature of the cloud computing and the relationship with the cloud service provider. And that one is seen here. You're talking about your multi-cloud deployments, your cloud service models. So it can make inferences, but in some cases, it's not cut dry like that. It's not explicitly stated in the manual. So here is just a way to interact with the manual or your documentations to help you gain more knowledge on specific topics, so that when you're in the exam, you won't struggle. If there are words that comes out in the exam or terminology that comes out in the exam that you don't understand, it becomes a struggle. But one thing I always tell students is when you get a word that you're not clear about, use the layman terms. Try to figure out what does that word mean in English. If you understand the English word, then that's your best alternative. All right. Um, Aside just the actual technical terms. Okay. So I will discuss more hopefully in the class, but I hope that this tool would work. I mean, make sense for you and you would explore it yourself. It's not part of the class. I wasn't meant to show you, or I was. It's not anything, but for me, the idea is anything that can give you an edge or give you a way to learn better, I would share with you. So I hope you guys can use it or make good use of it and prepare for your exams, or at least get to know what IT auditing is really about and what you can do as a person while doing the work. Any questions?
Thank you so much. Is are you using a subscription based notebook LM or just with your work?
No. This is, I mean, this one you don't need any subscription to start. So without subscription, come here, let me see something here. Let me go back. Without subscription, you can load up to, where is this guy? Sans. Yeah. Without subscription, you can actually load up to 50. You can see here. That's the source limit. All right. But if I subscribe, let me see. I can now choose to upgrade to Pro. Um, it can take more. All right. So if you're upgrading to Pro, I think it's like 28,005 a month. Naira though. So the difference is you get 5 times more audio overviews. So one of the things you can actually do is it can also create more like a podcast on specific book. All right. So I mean, the idea is how can you immerse yourself in the learning, what you watch, what you listen to, what you read, um, interactions, questions, coming to class, your review sessions with friends and colleagues. So when you are immersed in it, it becomes part of you. All right, that's the idea. So the notebook LM actually allows you, it can generate, what do you call it, audiobook of some sort. You interact with it. Now, if I were to go for the Pro, that means I will be able to generate like 5 more audios, overviews, queries, and notebook sources. And this, I can customize the style and tone of the notebook. I can collaborate and share the notebook with others. As of today, the notebooks are just mine. I can't share it, and others can contribute or add stuff to it. Um, with the paid version, you talk about your Gemini app with access to, the latest model from Google AI, which is Gemini, and you can also do AI filmmaking tools with Veo. So you get much more, and you now have 2 terabyte storage on your Google Drive. All right, so this is more like a premium plan, and so you have much more. For me, what I have currently works for me, so I don't see any need for paying for the premium plan right now. All right, so I hope, does that answer your question?
Yes, thank you.
All right then. So thanks for today's class.
Thanks for joining me. Subscribe for more CISA prep and keep practicing. Your journey to becoming a top IS audit professional. And that's a wrap. Stay sharp and stay tuned to more from 3V Learning Center to ace that exam.